Hello, you guys. My name is Miguel Espinoza Lizaraga, and today I'm going to be talking about surveillance and policing throughout the Los Angeles Police Department and also on the body cam usage. So, the organization's problem. So, in today's society, there has been an increase in controversial talk based on policing in the nation. However, I'm going to be focusing on the LA Police Department. So Matt Johnson, who was a commission vice president, proposed a new policy implementation. He proposed that by his approach of establishing a trustful relationship with the community, he would implement body cams onto police officers. He believes that the implementation of body cams will ease the community and make them feel more relieved due to the fact that they understand and they know that these officers are being monitored. Um, so the big issue here is law enforcement officials adapting to new things, transitioning into having to carry a camera with them, and for the department to establish uh, a trustful relationship with the community, which has been lacking for years due to previous engagement with the community. So the IT aspect of the problem is predominantly surveillance, body cameras, or any cell phone that is being used by any individual recording a law enforcement official. So, when anybody's being recorded, it makes you feel uncomfortable regardless of who you are, where you are, and what are you doing. So when law enforcement sees anyone recording them, they act a different way. They shy away from their their true selves of who they really are. And on top of that, now that they have a body camera, it just makes them difficult and they're more careful of what they really do. Therefore, I believe that body cameras and once anyone is recording them, law enforcement officials are not performing as they usually do. As is a problem for them, it's a it's beneficial for us, the community. After I did my research, I discovered that after an incident, within 45 days, the department has to release the video or the footage that was obtained by the body camera, and or if an individual records the incident, the police department also takes um, how do I put it in words? Takes the role of providing the footage to the community. Therefore, they they could see what really happened, as opposed to they interpreting the video as the way they want to and not showing it. So any recording, any type of technology that is used to record an officer is a huge problem within um, the police departments nationwide. So the pros and the cons. So the pros of having body cameras, it paints a clear picture. In other words, if we have any doubts of what really happened in the situation of an encounter between a police officer and an individual, we would go back to the body cams and we would be able to see what happened and create our own assumptions rather than letting an officer, a witness, say what really happened. Also, it would modify behavior. So since officers know that they're being recorded, they pretty much won't act the same way they usually do. I'm not saying they act in a wrong way, but throughout the cases of what had happened in the past, that's not justifiable, as in my opinion. And this by bringing out body cam recordings, it will create a trust with the community. So you know we as a community will be able to witness what really happened, and as I said, we will make our own judgment rather than having someone else make the judgment for us. To add on, as I was doing my research, I read that um, using body cameras appeared to be positive. um, a study performed by Rialto, California Police Department found that The cameras led to an 87.5% decrease in officers compliant, as well as a 59% reduction in the use of force over the course of the year. As for the cons, the cost of body cams won't really affect us, but it affects more the law enforcement agencies because it takes out of their budget. And also, as I did research, I read that their budget isn't really so high, and they usually uh, it costs 339 through $500 per camera. So that's pretty expensive. Another con is the privacy concerns. So privacy concerns, in other words, is as officers are patrolling with their body cam, they could record obviously anything they encounter. So a good example was as I was in taking an undergrad class, my my professor was saying that he had a buddy who was an officer, and he reported to a house where the lady inside the house was naked, and he had his body cam on. Therefore, after reviewing his footage, he took that with him, and now he has a naked woman in his body cam. So I mean, who wants to be recorded in that way and later on viewed? I mean, there's nothing you can really do about that. So, that's that. Those are the pros and the cons. So solutions I'm proposing, so accountability. So for any wrongdoings a law enforcement official engages in, they should be held accountable um, for their actions and face consequences. Nobody should be doing things that they're not supposed to. I mean, law enforcement officials are professionals, so I mean, you have to act in a certain way, and if you act in a way that's not justifiable, then you know the right from the wrong. You should be faced with consequences. However, I do understand that we are all human. You know, we suffer. We not we, but people suffer from you could say um, abuse at home or stress. Therefore, another solution I propose is treatment and training. So if we provide treatment for these officers who are engaging in engaging on day-to-day basis with the community, they should be able to provide training for these officers. Therefore, they could uh, consult with somebody and express what they experience, because most of these officers have no one to talk to, and or just keep it in within themselves, which is not a good thing. As for training, everything's transitioning, and some people do not understand how to use certain tools, or they act in the instant, and they act in the wrong way. Therefore, training should be a bi-weekly thing where they refresh them on the mission and the goals of the department so they could comply with them. Therefore, their performances is more effective. So that's some solutions I propose. So that concludes my presentation. Quick question in my mind: what do you guys think on body cameras? Should they be enforced throughout the nation? Because from what my understanding is that there's still some departments who do not have body cameras due to budget. But if they did have a budget to provide cameras for every police officer, should they use their resources in obtaining these new uh, cameras? Is it worth it? Should they do it? Should they not? I don't know. It's just a question in my mind. However, thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoy.